Wrestling is built on comparisons. Every fan has their favorites, and every debate comes down to one question. Who's better? That's what we're here to discuss, or at least try. Welcome to Versus, the series where we take two wrestlers, past or present, and put them head-to-head in 5 key categories. In-ring ability, character work, promo skills, accomplishments, and influence and impact. Each round will break down their strengths, compare their legacies, and name a winner. Some matchups will be close, some might even end in a tie, but by the end, one wrestler will come out on top. Of course, this is just my opinion, so if you agree, disagree, or think I got it completely wrong, let me know. With that being said, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. Who's better? Let's find out.
Oh, and by the way, Daner Bronco Buster?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Improv.
That was wonderful.
AJ Styles and Samoa Joe aren't just two of the greatest wrestlers of their generation. They are two names forever linked in wrestling history. The two had ties all the way back to 2003 in Ring of Honor, but it was in TNA wrestling that the two would help define an era. Styles was already the face of the company, the high-flying phenom who had been with TNA since its inception. Joe, on the other hand, arrived as an unstoppable force who blended power and agility in a way few men in wrestling ever have. Ring of Honor, TNA, and even WWE. These two have crossed paths across different companies, different matches, and in different eras. But now, it's time to break down these two careers and determine who is better. When it comes to in-ring ability, we're going to try to look at everything. Technical skill, versatility, psychology, match quality, and consistency over time. Both AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are celebrated for their work, but they go about it in completely different ways. AJ Styles is the definition of a high flyer, quite literally innovating the style. But that label doesn't do him justice. He's a precision artist blending high impact offense with crisp technical wrestling. His agility is second to none, and like I said, he's an innovator. Much of the wrestling we see today can be attributed to things AJ Styles was doing 20 years ago. AJ Styles is one of the most versatile wrestlers of all time. His ability to seamlessly transition between different styles, high-flying, technical, submission-based, and even strong style, makes him a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He's had classics in every major promotion he's wrestled for, from his X Division work in TNA, to his New Japan Pro Wrestling run where he adapted to the hard-hitting style, to his current WWE run, where he's proven he can slow things down and still deliver. But what really makes AJ special is his adaptability. Not only can AJ adapt to different styles of wrestling, but over the years, as he has aged and his body has slowed down, he continued to change his style to keep up and continue to put on entertaining matches. On the other side, Samoa Joe brings an entirely different kind of intensity. He isn't just a powerhouse, he's a hybrid athlete, blending brute force with shocking agility for a man his size. Joe's offense is built around stiff strikes, devastating suplexes, and a submission-based game that wears opponents down over time. Joe has always had the ability to push the pace of a match, seamlessly transitioning from methodical ground and pound to sudden burst of explosiveness. Despite his size, Joe can move with incredible speed, hitting snap power slams like a man half his weight. Like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe has also adapted as his body has changed over the years. Both men's wrestling styles are aging like fine wine, as both men are nearing 50, but still producing quality wrestling, which can be attributed to both men's very understanding of what professional wrestling is. But who's better? Fuck, why did I make this video? This is extremely close, too close to call. For in-ring ability, I'm gonna have to give it a tie. But a great wrestler isn't just defined by their in-ring ability. They also need to connect with the audience through their character and how they present themselves. Both AJ Styles and Samoa Joe have evolved over their careers, and while their strengths are different, both have shown the ability to play multiple roles, adapt to new environments, and remain compelling no matter where they go. AJ Styles has always been the archetype of the phenomenal athlete, a guy who isn't just good, but knows he's good. His character has fluctuated over the years, but at the core of AJ Styles has always been about proving that he is the best. Whether he was the cocky young high flyer in TNA, the brash leader of Bullet Club in Japan, or the grizzled veteran in WWE, AJ's persona is always rooted in confidence, skill, and the chip on his shoulder. Samoa Joe, on the other hand, is a destroyer. He is one of the most believable badasses in wrestling history. His character has always been defined by intensity, intelligence, and an unshakable aura of dominance. Joe doesn't just beat opponents, he humiliates them, outthinks them, and destroys their spirits. Samoa Joe's character work has always exuded menace, danger, and an air of legitimacy that few wrestlers can match. When looking at how both wrestlers have performed as heels and as faces, things get interesting. Samoa Joe is on another level when it comes to being a heel. You know, Joe doesn't just play a villain, he becomes one. His trash talk, his body language, and the way he stalks opponents and cuts them down both verbally and physically makes him one of the most intimidating figures in wrestling history. On the other hand, AJ Styles has shined as both a face and a heel. As a face, he's been an underdog, someone fans love because of how good he is in the ring. But he's also been someone who is just the best, and fans loved him just as much for that. In the end, I think AJ Styles' ability to shine as a face and a heel, combined with what he did as the leader of Bullet Club, is going to give him the edge over Samoa Joe. Joe's character has simply not changed much, and sure, you could say it never needed to change, but AJ Styles has simply had more variety and reinventions, so I'm going to give this round to him. Now let's talk about promo skills. It's Samoa Joe. Alright, time to talk about accomplishments. Just kidding. I mean, I don't want to waste time, but I guess we can talk about this a little. AJ Styles is a solid promo, but it's just clearly never been his strong suit. You know, he's come a long way since his early TNA days where he struggled to sound natural, but by the time he hit WWE, he had developed into a confident, effective speaker, with his best promos coming during his feud with John Cena, where he showed he could carry a main event level story with his words alone. But Samoa Joe? He's generational. Joe speaks with conviction, menace, and precision. He doesn't yell to get his point across, he lowers his voice, leans in, and makes you believe every single word, delivering some of the most chilling and effective promos in wrestling history. There's a reason WWE tried to put Samoa Joe on commentary. Sure, he was dealing with injuries, but wrestlers deal with injuries all the time, and none of them get this opportunity. Joe simply commands attention in a way few wrestlers ever have, so this is easy. Promo skills goes to Samoa Joe. Now for accomplishments, and like promo skills, this one is not very hard. I think it comes down to this. Samoa Joe has won the TNA Championship, NXT Championship, and AEW Championship. AJ Styles has also won the TNA Championship, so let's cancel those out. AJ has the New Japan Championship and the WWE Championship, which is just unfortunately something Samoa Joe has never done. Even beyond titles, AJ's accomplishments extend to his WrestleMania resume, where he's faced the likes of The Undertaker, Randy Orton, and Edge on the biggest stage. His transition from an independent wrestling icon to a bona fide WWE main eventer is one of the most successful late career moves in wrestling history. Samoa Joe's legacy is undeniable. His accomplishments stack up with anyone. But when you put it all together, AJ Styles has simply done everything Joe has done at a higher level, on a bigger stage, and with more historical significance. So we stand at 2-1-1 in favor of AJ Styles, with one category left: influence and impact. Let's start with Samoa Joe. Joe has helped redefine what a big man could be in professional wrestling, proving that size and agility could coexist in a terrifyingly dominant package. Before Joe, the idea of a 250 plus pound submission specialist moving like a cruiserweight, blending MMA style striking with hard hitting suplexes, wasn't something you saw often. But AJ Styles? His impact on professional wrestling is simply on another level. AJ has innovated professional wrestling. There are few wrestlers in history who have influenced the entire industry the way AJ Styles has. His work in TNA helped define an entire era, and when he moved to New Japan, he didn't just keep Bullet Club going, he elevated it. Before AJ, don't get me wrong, Bullet Club was making waves, but with AJ as the leader, Bullet Club became a global phenomenon, setting the stage for its future explosion in popularity. You know, you have to give Finn Balor his credit, but had AJ not taken over, I don't think Bullet Club would have been nearly as popular as it became. AJ Styles also changed the perception of independent wrestlers in WWE. Before his arrival, WWE was still hesitant about signing non-WWE made talent for main event spots. But AJ Styles proved that not only could an outsider thrive, they could dominate. His success paved the way for guys like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn, and others to be taken seriously. And then there's the actual wrestling itself. AJ Styles is one of the most influential in-ring performers of all time. His moves, his sequences, his pacing, these are things you see in modern wrestling all over the world. Samoa Joe helped redefine what a wrestler could be. AJ Styles redefined wrestling itself. The final tally is AJ Styles 3, Samoa Joe 1, and 1 tie for in-ring ability. This wasn't an easy call. This wasn't a one-sided battle, because when you're talking about AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, you're talking about two of the most complete professional wrestlers of all time. These two didn't just put on great matches, they helped shape entire eras. They were the faces of an alternative when the mainstream was getting stale. They were proof that you didn't need to be in WWE to become a major star in wrestling. But when you step back and look at the full picture, I just had to give the edge to AJ Styles. He's been the guy everywhere he's gone. He's headlined the Tokyo Dome, he carried TNA on his back for years, and when he finally arrived in WWE, he didn't just survive, he became the WWE champion and one of the faces of the company. That's rare, that's special. Now that doesn't take away anything from Samoa Joe. Joe has done everything short of being the top guy in WWE, and even without that, he's still one of the most respected names in the industry. His promos, his presence, his sheer believability, that stuff doesn't count for nothing. Joe is a killer in the ring and a killer on the mic. And for a lot of fans, especially for those who were watching ROH or TNA in the early 2000s, Joe might still be your pick, and I wouldn't argue with you. That's why I made this series. It's not about tearing anyone down, it's about celebrating greatness, comparing phenomenal wrestlers, and appreciating what they've done. But I know you have some thoughts of your own, so let me know. Was I right? Was I way off? Who do you want to see next? Let me know.
How are you?
I'm Betty Jean Gooch, and I will need your names for the log, please.
I am Spencer Green.
Oh,